What is up, folks? Happy Wednesday? It's Wednesday. We're streaming on Wednesdays now. As announced not too long ago, we have been making some slight schedule adjustments. And as such, we are now streaming on Wednesdays. And depending on from where you're watching, we might be an hour early, I guess, maybe. I don't know. It's still 6 p.m. here, though. 6:16, I guess. But anyway. Oh boy. I'm okay. I'm okay. I spent some time ahead of going live here trying to tweak and adjust some audio level stuff. I guess it came to a head during MJ when the alerts were super loud and the game was super quiet, and I skimmed through or just checked in a bit on the VOD because I was exporting it I was highlighting it and exporting to YouTube, and I was really annoyed looking at it because the game audio is like just way too low. I should have tried to make an effort to see if I could have done something against about that, but I don't know. I guess ultimately this is going to end with me spending a bunch of money on audio interface hardware, which I've been very reluctant to get into because that just seems like a lot of effort and bother that I would prefer not to have to go through if I can avoid it. But I did do some I looked into a little bit of settings in OBS and Streamlab alert stuff and some stuff to try and figure out how to have a little bit more control over things at any rate. So hopefully things are okay, and if they need adjusting, I have a slightly better idea of how to go about trying to adjust it. As always, we'll give it a shot, and streaming's a blow up, audio mixing is a nightmare, and if things are fucked, you guys gotta help me out and let me know so I can have a chance of addressing it. But hopefully things are going to be all right. It is indeed time to see what that dastardly Nobunaga is up to, and probably no good. I think that's right. B-Roy, Atomic Runner, Sword Fam, Solada, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Of course, everybody who's lurking, watching a VOD, however else you're consuming this content, I'm glad to have you here. And I think we'll try to get into it, right? I I worked out last night, and I guess I didn't stretch quite as well as I should have, because now I'm as long as I'm at my keyboard or whatever, I'm fine. But having to actually like stretch out my arm, I'm like, oh boy, that was uncomfortable. Let's get my controller here, and let's switch some scenery here, shall we? Oh yeah, I should probably turn on my upscaler, and we'll get rid of these jams too. Oh yeah, and I should fix this, right? Apologies for the audio crackling. Be fine. Let me change inputs here. So of course I didn't do any testing with actual game audio, so I don't know how that's gonna line up in terms of audio levels, but we'll figure that shit out. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, I can also go Super Nintendo if I can't reach that far. I think we'll be okay. I was trying to remember if there was something I was supposed to have addressed. I don't think so. Whatever. Let's do it. Let's load our save game and see if we can remember what we were doing. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Because I was... before I started to stream, I was like just like vaguely trying to remember where we left off last time, because I just remembered we were fucking around. Like the last thing I kind of remembered was that we got teleported back to the village, and then I wasn't sure kind of what was next after that, and I was like, well, I guess we did go back and use that ring to open up something. But I'd completely forgotten the whole thing about going back to the castle from Onimusha 1. But here we are. I'm just remembering from the screenshot here. I'm also noticing, I did not pay attention to this before, but it says their player, Jubei. So, I mean, in the first game, we did switch to Kaede every now and then. And I guess it said, when we looked at the controls, there was like the L2 button that did something only when playing other characters. So I guess it makes sense that at some point we'll swap to other characters. 2 hours 36, 11 saves so far. Let's do it. Let's explore some corridors. Right, because we got to that, the doors right here. Yeah. The demon door or whatever. And, that's right, I remember that. Like, yeah, there's a little bit of stuff to look around for here. But let's just wrap up the stream there and check this out next time. And here we are. It's currently next time. It'll be exciting to see to what extent I remember how to control this game. It'll be fine, I'm sure. History of Japan, Volume 1. All the lore. Whoa! Hello. Go up here, I guess. Oh, shit. He's friendly now. I guess he really did like that vodka. That one is blocked, right? Poison mist. Oh, wow. Okay, excellent camera angle there. I think those red seals are his doing. Yeah, he's like casting spells or some shit. Oh, I guess this is just a break. No? It's like clearly rendered in real time. Maybe we have to defeat the enemies and there'll be a cutscene or something, and then maybe I can interact with whoever that was. I mean, I can't do anything. Oh, there we go. I can't do anything but fight these dudes so far anyway. It's a baby, I see. Oh, that's right. That dude was his daughter was gone. Okay, of course he's upset that it turns out that his cute daughter is a fucking infant. Yes. Is he having some kind of premonition? Okay, no. He claims it's his daughter. Something's going on here. Yeah, his wife and daughter died, but he's like, yeah, my he said like when his daughter or his kid died, cried just the same way or something. It's like I made a promise to my daughter. I'd make her princess. Well, this guy's clearly got some baggage. I mean, understandable. What's up, Bitch Banana? Make sure to take care of her. So I wonder if we got this guy to show up because that was like the dude we helped the most recently. I don't know how that works. Whatever. Archers. Okay, so there's a door there. It's easier to just like look at the map. Okay, yeah, there's nothing else I would have really... Oh, okay. Yeah, the way this map is drawn is a little confusing, but it's... I mean, it's fucking extermination style, I guess. We have multiple floors just like on the same screen here. Like next to each other. Actually, well, I guess I can... Just making sure that there wasn't some pickup or something over there. Green herbs. Oh, well, there's something there. Some kind of charm. Let's see if we can figure out what that... Is that a consumable or... A charm with a mysterious power. It's usable. Maybe someone who knows this game knows what this does. It does not... It doesn't... it just says, like, it is said that... Something... Something with death? I'm not sure. But it, like, I can tell from the description that the game does not explicitly explain exactly what it does. In terms of, like, in game mechanic terms. But obviously, I'm not quite understanding what it says. If I did, it might be more clear. Crusader, what's up? Is there any differences in this version? I don't know. I've never seen or played any other version of this. It's all in Japanese. The first game had English voices, like as an option. Like it was kind of mostly bilingual. Earth. Okay. So we don't have... correct weapon for this. So I was a little bit surprised that this game is actually not bilingual. Yeah, the spear is ice, right? Kind of interesting. There's like thunder, ice, and earth, I guess. There's no fire. There's no... wind, I think, was an element in the first one. Banishes something. You mean the charm? I'm pretty sure this is not going to help us here, by the way, but... I'm pretty sure... it's a little hazy since we just loaded the save game here, but I don't think... I mean, there are places we haven't gone, but I think those doors were not available. But maybe that other room on the right. I think that door was locked somehow. But whatever we may have missed, we certainly don't have the weapon that'll open this door. But I would suspect that once we start backtracking, it'll trigger something or other. Oh, cool. It's down there, too. Nice. Yeah, it's a nice touch that these other dudes show up a little more frequently in this game. Oh yeah, hell yeah, let's power up. Onimusha mode activated. Yeah, there's a lot of these broken down walls and closed doors and stuff, so there's a lot less to actually explore here. Yeah, it's just like it's all broken. Can't go through here. Oh, I just want. There we go. Because there used to be like a door. Oh, there is. Oh, okay. Never mind. We didn't go here. Yeah, I remember this. Pretty cool effect. You can see me, Nobunaga something something. Oh, okay. Well, maybe not. Oh, I think that maybe the charm had something to do with this. I don't know. Yeah, he. Yeah, if only I had the charm. Well, luckily we do. Yeah, I mean, okay. I figured it might have been like a consumable item. It's not. It's just like you can only use it. But it's not. It's a little ambiguous. I think clearly it had an effect. Very well. I guess we can make his ghost find peace. And make his corpse drop an item. Aha. It's the other key to the door. Book. Genma no Rekisho, right? History of Genma. Oh, the backdrop's pretty cool. Verifying the miasma with the charm freed his spirit. Sure, we'll go with that. Anyway, yeah, we're learning about the origin of the Genma clan. Whatever. This wouldn't interest me greatly, even if I could read it all. It's cool that there's stuff like that for flavor, but ultimately, I'm happy to focus on gameplay and combat. That's trying to block. We're doing okay on health. Actually, I should. When we're done with these guys, I could look into. I was trying to back out. Into what the powering up situation is like. These other orbs just kind of went. Oh no, there we go. We got like 5 bars here. I keep forgetting that I actually have this weapon. We should get close-ish leveling this up. Yeah, not quite. I guess we need like 2 more bars, maybe? Still don't know if that's going to be worth it, but we've committed to it now, so... Something about the frequency of the enemy respawns seems kind of annoying. Something about it, like, just from the way I remember the first game, it feels more, like, aggressive here that they keep respawning enemies, or at least that they... Respawning enemies happen in the first game, but it seemed like it only happened for a little bit, and then sort of it stopped. Here, like, if you're in a room with respawning enemies, it seems like they just keep on coming.
引き分けのないお方だ。小谷城攻めはすでに決まったこと。今さら取りやめはできませんな。そんなことは忘れていかがです？今さら滅亡する朝日家へ戻るよりこの拙者と。
無礼者、私に指一本触れたらただでは済まさんぞ。
はい、昨日も強い。
I don't know, this guy seems like a bit of a creep, doesn't he?
殿の命令です。あなたをこの城から出すわけにはいきませんな。
You'll never escape this castle. See about that.
逃げろ。お前は柳生十兵衛。生きていたのか。
You're alive?
やはり柳生の将を襲撃したのはてめえら驚し技だったんだ。
Dude, it's fucking...
何を今さら。柳生一族は殿の天下統一には邪魔な存在。
I can't stand Jubei's voice.
だから滅ぼしたまでの
He's like slurring all his lines too.
やれ。
But I guess this dude was involved in the attack on the Yagyu clan's village or some such. Because when the game starts, like returning from some adventure, and in our absence, our village has been like destroyed by Nobunaga's armies, basically. Alright, okay. Guess Oyu just left. We don't interact anymore with her. Okay, this is pretty sick. Oh, I remember seeing this character design. Waiting for you.
誰だ貴様。
よくぞ聞いてくれました。拙者の名前はゴーガンダンテス。現魔界最高の剣士。
Organ Dantes? I don't know what his name was. The greatest swordsman of all the Genma, apparently.
さて、十兵衛さんとやら、久しぶりに強そうな敵に出会えて、拙者の剣も涙と興奮に震えています。では、行きますよ。
Let's go. Yeah, his hair is, I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, because when this game came out, I remember... Oh, that's not the block button. I guess we'll use a healing item. Didn't save. I just realized. I forgot to save. That's pretty bad. Well, we got a bunch of... Okay, I think a medium heal is warranted here. Yeah, back when this game first came out, McFarlane Toys released action figures based on this game. Because like at the time they did some like video game figures and stuff, and they did a bunch of like Japanese licenses, because they did like a bunch of anime figures. They did like Akira and I think Trigun and whatever else. They did some kind of, I was gonna say weird stuff, but just like kind of an unusual licensing situation. And they did do figures for like Soul Calibur 2. Of course, McFarlane was involved. He designed Necrid, who was in that game, and Spawn was in the Xbox version. I don't remember what other kind of stuff. They did some Halo stuff, I think in the early, mid 2000s at some point. But yeah, they did figures for this game, and this character was one of them. I just remembered like seeing this character in the game. The thing I'm like flashing back to and remembering is that figure. Yeah, like it makes sense. It's not like a strange direction per se. It's just like looking at the American kind of toy market. You wouldn't see many other companies license those kinds of brands. Which, I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. You're pretty good. Like whiff punish, or what do I do here exactly? Oh, oh no, okay. Kick him. Kind of looks like a trait. Oh boy, yeah, that went just right through my guard. So I can try this. I wonder if I'm supposed to do like the counterattack thing. Like, he definitely seems like he's able to... See, like, I don't think that touched him either. Okay, I guess we're just... Gotta hit him a couple of times. That's pretty cool, though. I like it. Like, well, just as well. You're no match for me at this strength level anyway. Yeah, for sure, bro. Like, that's definitely a thing, or was at the time at least. Ascend the ladder? Yeah, sure. Where else are we gonna go? It's just one of those things that, like, historically, it seems like a bit of an anomaly or kind of an interesting thing. But that's the thing too, like, about, like, McFarlane really kind of shook things up in the industry at that time and did a lot of interesting things. And I think that was probably pretty savvy of them. It's just something that seemed like kind of... And I mean, they weren't the only ones. There were, like, other companies. Like, was it Palisades, I think, who did the Street Fighter line, which was, like, not... Like, Street Fighter was not a particularly hot brand at that time. 'Cause that was, like, well after Street Fighter 3, but well before Street Fighter 4. Although, actually... I guess I was remembering because I actually bought some of those. That's the I have the Cammy figure from that line, and I bought that in 2001. So I guess I thought of it as later. And actually, geez, I'm old. 2004 is when the Soda Toy Street Fighter line started. So, but even then, it doesn't really matter in terms of brand awareness and what's going on. Street Fighter wasn't really more or less relevant between 2001 and 2004. There was even, like, I can't remember who made them, but there was some company that made, like, Virtua Fighter and Tekken figures. I mean, that's not really comparable to something like, you know, 80s and 90s anime movies and OVAs getting toys in the late 90s, early 2000s, but I think there's still some kind of an overlap. A lot of those things were definitely, I think, not strictly necessarily inspired by McFarlane Toys, but at least part of the same general market trend of, like, action figures that were clearly aimed at a slightly older demographic with a different kind of focus on sculpt and aesthetics over playability. Anyway, that's enough reminiscing. We got the second orb. Is that the orb of the star? I guess, yeah, that's the one she had around her neck. Okay. mechanical steed. Sure. Okay. I guess we're friends. Or I guess we'll get a new weapon. Instead of a dragon, it's a horsey. Or not. I don't know. Let's go.
So,
like, how do we even... I don't know. We ride around to the yard and ride the horse into a hole in the ground to take the weird bone elevator to back to the real world. Maybe we're teleported back to the village again after this. Maybe the village is like some kind of Diablo-style hub that we return to. Still, even if it's... I haven't quite gotten a firm grasp of the structure of how everything fits together. It still seems like the world of this game is going to feel a lot more expensive compared to the first game. Which is neat. I didn't mind the limited sort of scope. Yeah, well, we are back in the village.
この玉をどこで？
昔から我が家に伝わってきたものよ。欲しければあげるわ。命を助けてくれたお礼よ。
いいのか？
Apparently that orb had been in her family for generations. But she's gonna let us have it because we saved her life.
じゃあ、浅井の？なるほど。それで読めた。信長は今その浅井を滅ぼそうと虎視眈々と狙っている。
戦になれば残念だけど浅井に勝ち目はない。だからこの手で信長を倒そうと岐阜城へ。でも捕まってしまって。
目的は俺も同じだ。柳生一族の仇を討つため。信長を。
Turns out we're everyone wants to kill Nobunaga.
私もしばらくはこの今庄の町にいるつもりよ。だから。嫌だ。私どうかしている。だから何かあればいつでも手伝うから行ってきてね。
I guess from here on out, maybe she'll hang out here so we can give her some gifts and get some help. In which case, we should go find her and see what we can gift her. Alright, so we're, yeah, having more stuff added to the village. Oh, another cutscene. Interesting, he had like a double shadow there. Like his shadow was cast on the shadow on the ground that's already there, unlike how it was previously. Oh, he's asking about the girl. What's her name? Her name is Oyu. Why do you ask? Seen her somewhere before. Alright. Buma is insisting that there's something highly mysterious about that girl. We shouldn't take her at face value. Yeah, you can see here, like, the shadow is sort of masked out, so we don't get the shadow being cast on top of the shadow in the background, which is a cool touch. As we mentioned last time, like, they do a lot of interesting little things in this game compared to the earlier, like, Resident Evil games and stuff to really make the characters feel like they belong. See, he's even, like, darker inside the... Like, it's a bit... It's, like, not perfect. It's good enough. But there's no actual shadow being cast on him. It's just, depending on where we're standing, the entire character is made a little dimmer. But it still works well. Like, it's really cool. Seeing stuff like this makes me really want to, like, see... Like, I feel like this was some sort of a evolutionary dead end that kind of ended in a way with like, RE0, I guess, probably, right? Because there was the RE remake, which was excellent. This was basically contemporary with that. It'll be interesting to see what the third and fourth games are like, because I don't really remember. RE0 came out, and I guess like everyone hated it, and then we haven't seen. I mean, not just from Capcom specifically, but this style of game certainly has not been that, or this style of visual presentation, I guess, has not been very popular since then. RPG Town music. Yeah, I mean, I think Todd McFarlane is a bit of a character for sure. Like he has his fans. I think, not to say that I don't like him or his work. I'm not super familiar, but clearly he's got some business savvy, and he's been able to leverage his artistic skills as well as, I don't know, showmanship and business acumen into a very successful career. So certainly have a lot of respect for him in that sense. I mean, I liked his Spider-Man art when I was a kid, for sure. And I remember when Spawn debuted, and that was kind of a big deal. I never really read any of the comics though, but I didn't see that guy. Extremely drunk, I guess. Everyone's just, I don't know, mining for gold, shopping, and getting really drunk in this town. Seems like a fairly chill place. Well, I guess we got another history book. Alright, what do we got? Aguichi accepts. So we got a bunch of bullets, but we don't have a gun yet. And if this ends up anything like the first game, we'll use it once in some late game boss fight.
ところで十兵衛、お前もなかなかやるじゃねえか。2階の南蛮鎧の女はお前を待ってるらしいな。しかもさっき別の女がお前を訪ねてきたぜ。出店広場で待ってるだとよ。どっちに行くかはお前の自由だが、後悔しないようにな。
Alright. Apparently we got ladies waiting for us left and right. And it sounds like we can make a choice. Well, we should definitely save. I used a bunch of healing, but we're alive. That's up, horseplay. I actually have somewhere the Ivy figure from the this? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. From the Soul Calibur 2 line, because I remember I bought it on the internet, and I was very shocked when I received it because they're like super tiny. Because I was familiar with McFarlane Toys, like as a brand and what their figures usually looked like, and up until that point, like they were pretty similar in style and scale, like with this kind of 6-7 inch scale. Buy whatever this is for 200. Sure. Okay, it was beer. Okay, I couldn't quite read if it was something. Anyway, well, I'm sure AK is gonna like some beer. Let's just check here first. But yeah, so I don't remember the Soul Calibur line. I'm sure there was a Necrid figure. There was an Ivy, probably. Mitsurugi. I think there may have been a figure of like Astaroth. I don't think there were that many of them. But yeah, I mean, they were fine for what they were, but they were pretty small scale and they weren't that... I mean, they were fine. There's a green parrot there now, by the way. Voldo. Okay, yeah. And there was a Spawn too, I wasn't sure. I had the I had 2, maybe 3 figures from the Metal Gear Solid 2 line. I didn't really get into like collecting or anything back then, really. Oh, there she is. She's hanging out on the balcony. That's kind of cool. Oh, I didn't. I want to go in. Wait, what? Let's go upstairs. We'll trade more with Eke later, but let's see. I don't actually know what she wants. I also Kotaro Fumes right there. But yeah, they're like, I mean, of course they're not like posable because none of their figures were really, but I think even maybe they had some like arm swivel or something. But yeah, they're basically like 3 to 4 inches. So they were actually more in scale with, because I have a lot of those like kind of gachapon trading style figures. And I mean, I happen we had it here since we played Metroid. I have my Metroid amiibo. And they're not quite this small, but they're like closer, I feel like, to this scale than their typical other figures. But they came with these like bases, but they weren't like elaborate to detail. There was like a hexagonal shape, and if I recall correctly, there's like a disc on it. So you put the figure, and there was like some kind of a spinny thing, so you could like turn the base around. Yeah, they're kind of different from a lot of the other McFarlane toys for sure. All right, yeah, he wants unusual items. If it's rare, I'll take it. Doesn't matter what it is. All right. So I guess we just gotta make sure to like gift. Can I? Oops. Like I guess we got Eke on board enough by giving him the vodka and whatever else. So once they're past the point of like we just need to befriend them a little bit at least for them to join in fighting, I guess. Yeah, there's a lady with a strange armor outside. Wonder why she's here. What's up, Lamasar? I got you back into model building. Well, don't blame me. This is all Atomic Runner's fault. He bears all the responsibility for everything Gundam and model building. Yeah, I think I have 3 amiibos. I have because when they first like started coming out, I got Samus and Wii Fit Trainer. Because those were, I mean, I wanted them, but there was also there were a few others I would have maybe wanted, but they were so fucking expensive. But those are the ones I ended up getting. And I also got one of the Inkling ones when I got Splatoon, because I guess I think maybe I wanted something from that. I don't know. I think they're well designed. I would have loved to get more of them, but they're like, yeah, they're like I said, I think they're quality products, but they are not reasonably priced for what I mean. It's like you got the Nintendo tax. They're like 40% more expensive than they should be at least. Like if they were like $12 here or whatever, yeah, then maybe. But they're like 30 euros here each, so it's like 25 to 30 euros. And nah, I'm not gonna pay that for those. So, and because I don't use them for, I don't play any Switch games or Wii U stuff or anything really. I don't have a 3DS. I wouldn't have a practical use for them per se, and like in that sense, like obviously the primary reason to buying them would not be to use them for any game purposes. It would be because they're nice looking figures. But I feel like having that secondary use would go at least some way towards justifying spending that money. But I think I kind of was like, I could see myself getting some if I could find them at a justifiable price, and that hasn't really happened. But a lot of them are really cool, that's for sure. 一応なくしあったんだけど、書きなかった。She lost something, I guess. 思い出の、だからなくなると困る。なんて着てるから変だと思うでしょ Like, I'm wearing Western armor. I bet you think that's weird. Always been into that shit. Yeah, because I guess I couldn't quite tell that that's what her armor was supposed to be. But she had like a straight sword and shield when we saw her. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, it kind of makes sense looking at it now. It doesn't look Japanese, but it doesn't strictly look like your typical European armor either, I suppose. Can't confirm, have seen it out in the West. So I wonder, so we found some stuff like, yeah, this is like a Greek brooch. So I guess maybe, yeah, this, so maybe she's into European stuff. Try to give her the European stuff.
気品があって素敵ね。私に似合うかしら。
All right. She's happy with that? Like this will look good on me? Sure. Oyu accepts her gift and blushes. Alright, we got some advanced liquor. Alright, let's see. What is this? Chinese? I don't know what it is exactly, but special Tokyu. It's like Tokyu. It's like special level. Like I was joking when I said like advanced. Like I pulled that out of the air as a joke, but it's like, yeah, I guess it is an advanced wine made from rice. All right. Well, I guess all the booze we just give to Eke. Oh yeah, this is the mirror. We got hair oil. Beer. So like, are we to assume that everything that has to do with beauty and girly stuff, like flowers and mirrors, do we just give that to her? Or let's try it. So this, I guess it's the Spanish globe. Let's try to give it to her and see if our hunch on European stuff being
ごめんなさい。欲しいのは山々なんだけど。
Nope. No interest. Well, at least we didn't lose it. What about this then? Oh, this seems like it could be unexpectedly helpful. Yeah. Hey, we got more Japan history lore. Yeah, Magoichi might be into the globe. I feel like Kotaro is the most kind of like, maybe I can give this to him. He's into like rare stuff, like whatever that means. 相手に渡すと出来事を忘れてしまう不思議な花 Mysterious flower which when you give it to someone they forget 素直の出来事 like try to give it to her, see what she says.
あら、どうしていたのかしら、私。おかしいわね。
Okay, I guess. They forget what just happened. Yeah. I guess she forget. Okay. So that was probably... I guess you should have maybe done that if you really upset them. So I guess maybe she forgot that I gave her something nice. Oh well, whatever. Well, we gave her one thing she was really happy with. We gave her a second thing which was nice, which she may have forgotten about. Try this. See if this...
綺麗。吸い込まれそうだわ。
It's pretty. Smiles. And she gives demon power extension. There we go. Okay. I think we're good with her for now. Whoa. Okay. So let's see if we can find something to give to Kotaro here. Try this maybe? Tengu mask. Is that rare? Is it unusual?
なかなか変わっていていいな、これ。
Yeah, this thing is kind of weird. Cool. Fire arrows? Okay. The weird stuff. What about this mysterious wind chime?
たまにはのんびりしたいもんだよな。
Waku Waku Shinaga. Okay, it didn't seem as excited, but it says literally that he is excited. Oh yeah, that's the medium healing item, I think. So that's not a bad trade. Not a bad trade. I'm trying to remember. There's no, like, healing station. You'd think that there would be one here, if that's a thing. Maybe we can go to the shop and buy healing items or something. I forget exactly. Yeah, for sure. Like, it's interesting how, even like with a digital capture and whatever, like, the sort of inherent fuzziness, especially with an interlaced signal, what that does for certain types of graphics and how it sort of ages and how it works. Like, it definitely is nice to look at. And I think for sure, I mean, if you played this on emulator and played it in like 4K resolution, obviously the real-time elements and the pre-rendered elements wouldn't fit together nearly as well. All right, let's give him the top tier booze.
幻の酒じゃねえか。こんないいもんもらっていいのか。
He's blown away. Sure you're gonna give away something this nice? Well, it depends on what you got for us. Well, medium health. Okay. I guess we can try and give Maguchi the globe here too. Alright, it's like, well, not interested in this, but I'll take it. Okay, sure. I mean, it's not like I knew who I was. I mean, it's kind of a bit of a guess anyway, right? Like, you don't know. So either you guess correctly or you don't. Is this some kind of a coin? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't surprise me. I think a lot of PS2 games specifically, I mean, not just PS2, but in the case of a PS2 game, a lot of the time they make use of a lot of hardware tricks to achieve certain effects, and that never tends to translate super well when porting stuff. I mean, RE4 for that matter, the PS2 version is missing a lot of stuff from the GameCube version, which isn't strictly to do with a lack of power so much as you just have to render things a little bit differently and things end up not looking exactly the same. And oftentimes you would have, you know, basically someone else doing the porting. Maybe they may or may not have access to original assets and that kind of thing, so you don't exactly know. I mean, yeah, let's not even get into the Silent Hill stuff. I mean, that's an entirely different level of messing shit up. Okay, so we can just buy more of these. Okay, interesting. I guess this is you buy this is like insurance. You buy this in case you gift someone something really bad, I guess. And we accidentally used it after gifting something good, but oh well. Silver armor. Okay, so let's she should definitely be happy with this. So I wonder if this is gonna even, like, do we gift that, or is it just available to equip whenever we play as her? Alright, rare British watch. I mean, if it's rare, Totoro should be into it, right? Calligraphy set. I mean, that should be Maguichi's stuff, right? History of Japan, Part 8. Romance novel, I guess. Now we can buy weapons for them. That's not something we could have bought previously. There was a red parrot for sale earlier, I think. Now the green one is for sale. There's some more expensive stuff here. We can buy another collectible picture. Sure, why not? 5-barrel rifle. Well, let's see. Let's try to gift this stuff, if that even is how that works. Beautiful gift box, some kind. Contents are unknown. Mysterious.
Superb.
Okay, some kind of potion that will have a mysterious effect on someone's heart. I don't know. Mexican Detective, what's up? Thank you for the follow. Yeah, so we can't buy healing stuff or I wonder if I wonder if we should gift him something better. So the most recent gift is something better. Oh yeah, so these are here, okay. What was I gonna say?
だいぶ揃ってきたな。
I wonder if the idea is to have to gift items to get healing items. I mean, obviously you do get, you can get some health back from enemies every now and then. But because this is this sort of a hub, it feels like you should be able to rest at an inn or something to heal back up before you go into action. But I don't know. Rare watch. He likes rare stuff, so you should definitely like this. But I got the weapon for him as well.
こいつが噂の懐中時計ってやつか。これを俺にくれるっていうのか？
Alright, he's very happy with this fabled watch. とても嬉しそうに取り出した. Looks very happy to receive it. So happy that he keeps adding to our fucking pile of useless bullets. Well, thank you. Figured if he gave us something that was that happy about.
ちょっと試しに切らせてくれよ。おいおい、冗談だよ。
It's like, let me try him out on you. Just kidding. But he was very happy. Sick. Okay, so that... Oh, dude, I didn't even think about that. I figured, like, giving weapons is good because they'll use the new weapons, but he gave us a special move. Huh. Okay, so with a long charge, we can now do an additional attack with our lightning sword. So, I'm not sure exactly where we're meant to go or what we're meant to do.
私にぴったり合うわ。
So I wonder if she'll wear this now. And that got us a special move with the spear. Yeah, same one. That kind of makes me want to gift more weapons and armor. Because we kind of... I don't know, I guess... Do we just head back up into the mines and trust that some cutscene is gonna, like... tell us what's going on? We're gonna get... I mean, before we go back to the Onimusha 1 castle, at some point we're gonna need the... earth sword or whatever to get through that doorway. Play this game a lot, but first time seeing it in Japanese. Yeah, I mainly collect Japanese consoles and games. My Japanese is far from perfect, but usually I understand well enough to get through games just fine. But there's a lot of reasons why I collect Japanese games. They're cheaper. They look like nicer cover art. Did she change? I don't know. She looks a little bit blue up there. I wonder if he changed her armor. I think she might have. So I buy a lot of old games just kind of at random. And actually, the Onimusha games I bought on accident because I put a bid for like $3 on an eBay auction for all 4 games. And I was definitely not expecting to win that auction, but then I did. Yeah, so this... Yeah, okay, so that's like the new ability here. Can we get... No, I wanted to get life back. It's got a little bit... Like I said, I don't know if... I'm meant to be here. I figured I can farm a little bit of health and XP and gold. But it's not like, as far as I can tell, that we can even leave the village any other way. Or, because we looked at the horse, like, the thing is, maybe we can ride our robot horse to go someplace. It's not like we've got any instruction or indication of where we could or should go, I don't think. Have I played Genma on Xbox? I have not. We played through the original on PS2 in a month or two ago. That was my first time playing any... Like, I've never played any of these games. I had some people mention and comment on Genma Onimusha and how that's like kind of an... Basically, it's like the Resident Evil Director's Cut, I guess. They like changed a lot of stuff. Made it harder. It doesn't... From what I heard, it doesn't seem like that's the like preferred experience. Like maybe if you've played the original... Oh yeah, right. We kind of cleared this place out. Oh, no people left inside. Well, we can save here because we got our a bunch of health back. But having played through the original, like I would have been curious to, if not play through Genma, at least learn more about the specific differences. All analog control. I mean, this one is too, but that sounds more annoying on Xbox for sure. The Xbox D-pad is not great. What's up, Joestar? So I'm pretty sure this is not by any means where I should be going. But I'm wondering... I mean, Oh, this is new. Maybe if we make it way back to the teleport thing, go to that castle. I do remember there was a door. I'm pretty sure at least. In the castle, which I don't think we could. Oh, interesting. Okay, so when you block, that charge is aborted. That's a big health. Oh, that works. Oh, yeah. Destroyed anyway. Oh, shit, one of these things. Nope. No. That's satisfying. Those, like, skull orbs that keep absorbing the other souls. When you kill that, you get all the souls back. Feels good. I did indeed cut my hair. I want to go this way. Oh, I thought he blocked it. Oh, okay, sure. Oh, and I got turned around. I got a little confusing. No, why am I not locking on? I wonder if you... These enemies are blocking a lot more. No, don't push me out through the loading zone. Okay, yeah. It's like maybe I actually have to use the guard break. Well, I think I countered. That worked at least. We're learning combat maneuvers and leveling up here, so it's fine. Yeah, maybe that's Mexican detective. Maybe that's the a context in which it was brought up too when we're talking about the new release and how that. Right, I was close to this. Probably not quite enough. Very close. And how that did not acknowledge any of the Genmo Onimusha changes or inclusions. Yeah, I agree. Like, it would have been nice. Of course, having not played it, I don't know exactly what it entails. Actually, fucking Daleks. Rather unusual enemies in this game. Camera's a bit... Okay. Oh, thanks. That's slightly better. Like dropping bombs on me. One of that purple orb, but the big orbs like are so slow. They about to explode? No, it's just firing rockets at me. Okay, we're about to die here. No, we're gonna die. We just saved. We're just like fucking around here anyway. But yeah, I mean, I think these games are cool and interesting, and I'm happy to explore them. But I'm not necessarily... Oh. Every time I fucking level up, and I think I save, and I didn't. Trying to think. Clearly, there's a bunch of new enemies here. So... Maybe it is... I mean, worst case scenario, we'll gain a bunch of XP, and... We already learned a little bit about fighting some enemies, and that's fine. Yeah, the whole gifting stuff is kind of clunky. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's fun to get to sort of interact with the characters a little bit more. But in execution, like, it's not one of those things where you play this game and you're like, man, I can't believe this was not in the first one. That kind of, whatever. Guard break these suckers and they go down pretty quick. Yeah, I mean, I agree for sure. Like, surely not a surprise to anyone here that strange ideas that you don't recognize from other places is something I find largely positive. The novelty of it has a value, even if it's... The contents of it is not necessarily something you know, put too much value in. Alright. Keep going, charge. kind of weird. Like, if I hold R1, you can see it starts charging. But, like, after I attack or after I block, it doesn't do it. So I have to, like, let go of R1 and press it again. Oh, wow, my block time is kind of atrocious there. Lost, like, half health for basically nothing. The way NPCs walk around feels more convincing. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say that there's anything particular about the way it's animated or the way the city screen is like populated. But at the same time, like, no, I keep locking onto the wrong dude. Block. Nope. Good. Sometimes the camera angles can be a little unhelpful. I just want to take it easy and not... Yeah, that purple orb, I don't actually want to collect it right now. No need to go Super Saiyan right now. Okay, so three bars is enough. So I do want to level up first still, but then I want to also save. There we go. So is this going to change the look? Okay, we got a little armor stuff on the shoulders there. I wonder if that's actually going to carry through in-game. I kind of hope so. Yeah, it does. Okay, that's pretty sick. Our character model changed because we leveled up our armor. Okay, that's awesome. This game is pretty sick. Let's save. But what I was going to say about the NPC stuff, I think it's always like a combination of things, right? How densely populated the area feels, and like having characters kind of walk around. I mean, for being, I mean, it's not as if this is the first game with like an RPG type village with villagers walking around. But seeing it in kind of 3D and everything, like overall, like I said, there's just a lot of stuff. How this game like makes the world feel like the characters and the environments like kind of fit together. I wonder if... Can you like kill these guys? Oh, yeah, you can. Okay. Oh, I guess that gave us quite a bit of meter. But I'm okay leaving those guys. $200 gold. Sick. Wait, could we go through here before? Oh, yeah. Right, we could. Well, I guess we can buy everyone some new armor. Getting a lot of gold, actually. Yeah, we had about 5,000, but we spent like... I think we were down to 2,000 something after buying the armor and weapons. So can I go back down here? Okay, it doesn't open. Doesn't seem like I can't go to the castle from here. So I assume that red ring is not here either. Okay. That means we basically had no purpose to go in here. I mean, it's still worth it. We're leveling up our armor and everything. There's nothing else in here, right? No. So maybe we need to just talk to some more NPCs in the village and get some kind of advice or information. Because so far there's been like quite a bit of stumbling into cutscenes that push the plot forward. Technically we didn't go here. It's gonna be the right map. It's the map. That's where we found the spear, right? Wanna go past? Fine. A few of the skull orbs. They're really cool. I like the designs of those. The floating orbs that are just like a pile of skulls. But they're not super fun to fight. We made a shit ton of money. Just going through here, so that was worth it. Like just a room down here, right? Well, a little bit gold. Take that. 100 G's, sure. Thank you. We're back to fighting a bunch of lizard men out here, I suppose. I didn't really get a good sense of what these special moves are. Trying to fucking... Okay. Big health, thank you. Trying to like idle to charge the sword attack, but it seems to give me a lot of trouble, to be frank. Alright, I'm having better luck with the health drops here, at least. It can be a little dicey, like, if you're locking on after killing an enemy, you'll basically lock on to, like, the next enemy. And if you do that, and you, like, want to backstep, or, like, move, you can, like, instantly turn around, and then you press down to go backwards. And it turns out backwards, it's not the direction you thought it was. Be a little bit of a liability. Like so. I mean, oh, I still hit the other guy. That gold. Maybe the enemy spawns do stop. It just felt like they kept coming, but like maybe I was wrong about that. So we got some stuff. Still nothing in here, I assume. Ah, doesn't look like it. Well, we definitely didn't really make an effort to walk around and just talk to a bunch of NPCs, because last time we did, I mean, we got some items for it, but it didn't seem to be greatly worth it. Especially these people walking around, they don't seem to have much. This guy thinks he knows me from old days, but he seems to be confused. It's like going to the inn or whatever. Oh, there we go.
美しいかい
I was gonna say, like,
いや
Magoichi had those lines talking about the ladies or whatever. Maybe this is who he was talking about. Because it could have been that we were supposed to go back and interact with Oyu and had something change, and then we go back here and trigger this, but... Well, whatever it was, triggered it, and she's got an orb.
お前だけじゃないあの憎き高女もじゃ今から柳生へ行ってあの女を殺してやる止められるものなら止めてごらん
Alright, she will not allow us to interfere with, It's so weird, this game has, like, stages, I guess. She's not gonna let us interfere with, Lord Nobunaga's plans. So now she's gonna go to Yagyu's village to kill some woman. So we teleport back to our home village where the game started. So when we were first here at the very beginning, I wonder if the map's gonna show this. Yeah, we couldn't pass through this door because we were like in a hurry or something. But now we can, I see. This game has 0 issues. I mean, yeah, that seems accurate. I was gonna say, why am I locking onto this wall? Turns out that's why. Like, I'm impressed with this game having, like, what I feel like should be... There's, like, no real reason why these enemies, this type of enemies, these types of designs, should be particularly memorable or distinct or good or cool. I don't know, I feel like this general type of enemy is, like, so common that I don't even know what it would take for one to stand out or, like, particularly look good. Or even, like, I don't know, I feel like so many enemies in games like this, it's even hard to gauge in terms of looking good or bad. They just kind of are. But a lot of these guys, they legit look pretty fucking cool. Even when you have, like, these kind of... Nice. Like, there's the weird kind of gamma issues with the brightness and contrast. Like, it's all kind of muddled. Like, I couldn't like draw these enemies without, like, looking up a lot of separate kind of reference. So the designs don't exactly come across, but you know, they look cool. Have cool, like, grunts and voices and animations well done. I like it. Bit of health at least. Like, the way you have to go back to neutral before you can charge the attack. Like, getting me so fucked up so many times. So there's a chest behind there. Oh, there we go. How do I even reach it? What's this? Oh, maybe it's yeah, okay. Okay, it's just like a scroll, I guess, if you unfurl it. Beautiful pattern. Okay. And we keep being on, like, very low health. Fork. eating utensil from France. Shiny stainless steel. Well, maybe not stainless steel, but shiny metal. What's this? You can't back down over these like ledges. Like if you go backwards, you just kind of stop. Let's look at the map. Okay, I guess this was the only way forward. Wait, did I go through that other room? Double check here. I don't think I checked over here. Like, yeah, it said we had been here because it's technically all the same room. Hey, another beautiful lady collector's image. I feel something behind. If I slice this, we find the right side of a Four Gods chart. That's the wrong button. Is this like a key item of some sort, maybe? Shouldn't be here, right? Oh, I guess. Wait, hang on. Oh, okay. It goes here. Yep, alright. So we got the blue dragon and the phoenix, I guess. Yeah, so there's a picture of a dragon and a bird. You can only see the part that's been torn off. Oh yeah, and this is the Pinup Collection. More collectible stuff, bonus stuff. Add a little more, I guess, substance that wasn't quite there in the first game. So can we? No, okay. Well, I have no idea what that's for, or if it's going to help us at all, or if we'll ever see the other half of it, but hey. It's stuff. It's conspicuous. Okay, there's a little gap here. Seems like you need to insert something here to be able to open this. So far, there hasn't been a lot of stuff where you kind of interact with the environment and find something to pick up or interact with. But now that we found that little scroll thing, now I'm like, shit, I gotta look out for that kind of stuff. Fucking arrows. Let me level up. There we go. Heck is this? Kind of back. Okay, well, we found this. Maybe we're using this like right. Yeah, okay, so that symbol right there, that's like the soul. Maybe this is used for that big red box. I don't know if we're supposed to insert this paper. We can give it a shot. Like this little. It's pretty cool, by the way, with the paper walls, because I definitely didn't pick up on the fact that they were interactive. Like, you can clearly tell if you're looking at them that they're not pre-rendered. But they still blend in surprisingly well. And if you're not looking for it, like, when the enemy, like, attacked through the wall, the reason I was, like, saw it coming was not because of the wall, but because I literally locked on through the wall. For fuck's sake. But if it hadn't been for that, like, I could definitely have been caught off guard by that. The knockback. I'm not gonna stick around to fight anymore. Okay, I mean, I guess we can try using that and see if it... Actually, can we? That makes sense. I can't, like, use it as an item or anything, right? Just look at it. Yeah. I think there was... Yeah. It's the kanji there is in the exact same style. But... Oh, I meant to look at the map, but... I guess that green arrow is we're doing something to open up a path to that room. Like, I guess... Wait, can I... Hang on. The orbs... Can they be used? Nope. Like, it looked like there was a little round thing. Oh. Okay, so yeah, it's a drawing of a turtle, dragon, bird, tiger. But I can't do anything with it. What's the go? 穴になっている。何かをはめないといかないようだ。Well, yeah, I guess there's 4 things there, maybe to represent the other 4, like, or not the 4 animals. But doesn't seem like there's like any. I don't understand how this chart is like connected to anything else. Well, I guess we'll take care of this guy after all. Maybe it could be one of those we have to kill every enemy and something will happen. Usually that's like in situations like that there's... Oh yeah, wait, hang on, what the fuck was that? Now it said something about a mushroom, kinoko. Oh, maybe it was just items. Yeah, okay. Mezurashi kinoko. Alright, rare mushrooms. I guess we'll give those to Kotaro. Chinese tea set. Yeah, I'm like definitely a bit confused. Wait, so... Oh, okay, right. I just wanted to... that this was connected. Like, did I... I'm just like running around mashing interact. Whoa, okay, we found some wasabi. Cool, well, I guess we'll do the old Wolf 3D, just hug walls and press mash interact until something happens. Alright, come on. Interrupted in the middle of their writing. I mean, if nothing else, we can go back and save. Or it could be one of those things we just have to turn back, and when we do, suddenly there's a cutscene happens. Oh yeah, the confusing thing is for sure like the animal chart thing. It would seem to me like it's supposed to have relevance. That big red box, which, judging from the map, seems related to progressing. But the only thing I can seemingly do with that paper is to just look at it. I think it seems like you get a lot of extra orbs for dealing with the counters, and that's nice. Timing for hitting them with the grounded attack is like weirdly finicky, but it's not hard to do. You just have to wait until they're fully on the ground, basically. Well, at this point, might as well go back to save so we don't keep losing. I guess I didn't actually... I only went that way. Maybe we'll just check out the other direction. That was right at literally the very beginning of the game, so I don't even remember. Wow, okay, I guess we got a health extension and stuff since our last save, so... Seems like it was definitely time to save. I don't even remember what's here at all, so... Nice, he got hit by the archer. More archers. Oh! Archer got him. Hit the other guy a little bit there too. Like I try to go sideways to sort of dodge. Well, it looks like you can block arrows even if you're facing the wrong way. I don't think you could do that in the first game. As I recall, one of the reasons why the archers were such a nuisance was that if you weren't facing directly towards them, blocking didn't work. Well, he's here to help out with his new swords. Ouch! Nice, thank you. Let me absorb this. I'll keep those guys occupied while I absorb souls. Not the great camera angle. Like this, the camera panning effect is kind of neat. But it doesn't make for good, like, combat screens. I figured he would kind of disappear. We'll kill all the enemies, but... Oh, I guess he's meant to come with us here. Our new armor. Jubei, where are you? Oh yeah, of course he's all suspicious. Well, I wonder if that stuff in the house was all... We could go in there. Maybe we're supposed to go there. Well, eventually we're definitely supposed to go there. Maybe we saved ourselves some... do a little hopping animation. Maybe we saved ourselves some trouble. I guess this is where we got... I don't think there's going to be anything more for us here. But I guess we'll check it out. Yeah, I'm curious myself to see what I feel about these games once I've played all of them. I'm probably not going to do it all like back to back, but I definitely intend to play all 4 of them. Oh, no. Okay, she's there. I guess this is where we're going. Oh, yeah. That's the lady who gave us... Oh, yeah. Okay, of course. That's the woman she was talking about killing. I see. Right. Now it's all coming back to me. Looks like I was a little bit late. Obviously, I haven't played enough of this to really judge it, per se. I wouldn't say I like this better than the first game at this point. I don't necessarily like it any worse. I definitely don't care for Jubei as a character, or as a protagonist. He's very bland. He's just gruff. I feel like Samanosuke is maybe not like super four-dimensional either, but he was more charismatic in his like line deliveries, and aesthetically I like his design better. Jubei is very stoic and kind of, I don't know, just uncharismatic to me. I guess that was our mom? Talking about seeing this buff swordsman being so powerful, she fell in love. It looks, I don't know. I love the visual presentation of this though, it looks really cool. It's a very interesting effect with the color. Fate. I mean, like, it's cool, especially being done on a PS2, because something like that, to have like a filter to tint something, color grading, like it's a very uncomplicated thing to do nowadays. And it's not necessarily a super complicated thing to do back then, but you would have to sort of cheat it in a different way. It's cool to see them do that. Yes, there was a battle between Oni and Genma.
俺は生まれた時から母親の顔は知らない。だから初めて会った母親が鬼の一族で、その血を俺が受け継いでるなんて、そんなこといきなり言われても信じられねえ。
Like, I never knew my mother growing up, and I learned she was a demon. I couldn't believe it, but oh well, whatever. Got work to do, gotta fight Nobunaga. Fuck it, whatever. I guess I'm a demon warrior. Sure, why not? Well, even if she's a demon, my mother's my mother. I will become the Onimusha and defeat Genma. So I guess this is where the game begins. Alright, okay. But yeah, like, so far, I mean, I can see, like, when we were playing the first game too, there were definitely people mentioning, like, how the sequel was a lot more fleshed out. Which, yeah, it's true. Oh, okay, the ring, yeah, it goes into the box thing, I see. And I think, graphically, I think the first game was awesome, and I think this game carries on that tradition. I kept talking about like this, the water, and like there's every screen almost has some little interesting trick they pull to make the characters feel like they're not models slapped on top of a static image. you know, you have the fog moving around. Like, there's animations in far more of the screens. A lot of the animation, like the fog is on top of the character. Like, they do a lot of things like that to make the characters blend in really nicely. I guess this is where we're like meant to be introduced to this enemy. Luckily, we've had some practice already. Oh, save that last purple orb. Dude, I'm trying to... Like, I guess I could have just used that there, but whatever. Ooh, we actually got a good amount of souls here. Got chat? Too late. I understand your feelings, Jubei. My mother was also a demon who died mysteriously, or whatever. Okay, yeah, so the weird Genmai lady went inside the mansion. Rare mushrooms. He likes rare items. Surely he'll like rare mushrooms. Give them to him.
俺は女が嫌いなんだ。あっちに行けよ。
Kotaro, like, instantly refused, as if he'd seen a ghost or something, I guess. Or did he take it? I don't... well... No, he did take it. I don't know, he didn't... That was really strange. He seemed very upset, but he still took it, and he gave me an item for it, so... I mean, fair shakes. But yeah, like... I think it's obviously fair to say that this game is a much more... There's a much larger kind of scope in terms of content and the length and the geographical space that the game takes place in and everything. There's more game here than in the first one, I think. That's not really something that's up for debate. But as far as, like, I mean, I've certainly gone on record many times about not really giving a shit about... Not saying I don't give a shit about length, but I don't think games being longer makes them better. I enjoyed Onimusha, and there was certainly no problem with it being too short, but it still feels kind of slight in scale and scope in a way that doesn't feel like a grand adventure. And that's fine, you know, but Now I kind of want to level up more of my armor because it's cool. But we probably should put some stuff into weapons stuff too. And we should remember to actually save. That's not the save. There we go. Well, the thing is too, like, a lot of stuff in terms of how this game plays and how it feels, it's very similar to the first game, which is not, I don't think, a positive or a negative. I mean, it's more a positive than a negative, I guess. The first game was fun, and this feels good too. We'll see how I feel about it, like, by the time we're done with it. I reckon there's probably gonna have been more cool boss fights and memorable scenes and stuff. Like, that's kind of the thing about the first game. It's a slight game. It's kind of short. There's not a lot to it, but there's, like, Samanosuke is cool, and I like the character designs a lot, and there were some cool boss fights and set pieces. So there are like things to remember fondly. Yeah, I think that's a fair point too, Mexican Detective, that like it's more, even though it's not actually really what the game is, it on its surface, the sort of vibe you get from it is that it's like Resident Evil, but it's samurai. And even though it's more maybe Dino Crisis than Resident Evil, you could almost say that Dino Crisis went through that too, where the first game, it's more action-y, I guess. I have played it a tiny bit, not in a million years. But it's... Oh. Okay, Abacus, I guess. But it had a little more of that horror vibe and trappings, whereas the second game was like all-out action. So yeah, I mean, I think that's fair to say too, like, there was... I mean, I think this game has got good atmosphere too. What the heck's... Oh yeah, okay, I can... But probably, I can imagine, having played like 20 minutes of the third game and everything, like they probably went more... I mean, the similar trajectory that Resident Evil itself went through, of course, of being more action-focused. But yeah, for sure, Part 3 seems, by a fair margin, to be the one that people remember the most fondly. And 2, I feel like... I never hear anyone talk about. Jube, you said, even if she's a demon, my mother's my mother. Is that really how you feel?
俺は生まれた時から母親の顔を知らずに育った。それが今分かったんだ。
I was raised without knowing my mother's face.
それだけで俺は幸せな気持ちだ。
I got to see her. Now I'm happy.
それでも子供は本当のお母さんと思うのかしら。
Are you related by blood?
そんなことは分からねえ。
Does that matter?
一体どうしたんだ。そんなことを聞いて。
Are you asking me these questions?
なんでも
No
ない
reason. It's not conspicuous at all. But yeah, in terms of preference, like that's the thing too. I think obviously playing these games at the time, having that kind of concept of value proposition, how much game do you get for your money, etc. Like, do you stick with the game longer if there's more game there? For me, when I'm coming to these 20 years later, I'm kind of just like going through at a pretty rapid pace, and if it's the biggest problem almost a game can have is overstaying its welcome. So I don't mind that it's short. At the time, I could see someone being excited that this game was like longer and more meaty and there's more to it. But ultimately, I think if this game doesn't deliver on cool scenes and good characters and fun interactions and whatever, then whatever value that density of content, so to speak, would have added is not going to be as meaningful to me. I've played through games in a single sitting on stream, and if they were sick, I'm like, if they had cool shit going on, like, I'm really going to enjoy that experience. Whereas something that might have equal amounts of cool stuff, but there's like 45 hours of padding in between, that's not going to make me as happy, you know, and have me as excited. I do think, like, there's definitely more interactions and cutscenes and dialogue and stuff with these characters, which is cool. There's probably more characters in this in general, just between the different, like, Genma and bosses and enemies and whatever. Like that swordsman guy with the umbrella mushroom hair. That's not the last we've seen of him. That seems like a cool character. And if there's more stuff like that, I can see at the end of the day, like, being pretty into what this game has to show. But like first impressions, like the whole gift giving system is fairly clunky. We have been sort of stuck-ish in terms of like, wait, how do we progress? Do I have to talk to all these NPCs? We're in this village. I really do like the idea of this kind of hub, and we're going to these different levels. Like it's a convenient way of expanding the world without having to make one big interconnected world. We can just have, you can just cut to where we've traveled over here and now we're in this location, giving us like a much broader range of environments, which I think is really cool and a very welcome addition to the first game. There's like areas that take place in sunlight and daylight and others at night, indoors and outdoors. Like, that's cool. I really appreciate that. But I can, you know, I like this game so far. Like, there are things that I think are a little bit cumbersome and not an improvement, like not making my experience better than with the first game. But at the same time, there's still quality stuff there. At the end of the day, I think it's just going to be a matter of how those things, what the balance are between them. And yeah, 3, I think, is the game that was generally well liked. 4, I think, is... I haven't heard many people say much about it, but I do feel like the general, like, they didn't keep making Onimusha games after that. So, like, that alone, I think, seems somewhat telling. And yeah, I don't know how it differs, but it seems like there must have been something that was different enough to genuinely put people off. So, okay, here we go. This is where the chart comes into play. We need to rotate these things. So let's use process of elimination here. The right one should be the blue dragon. The bottom one is that one, the phoenix. I didn't memorize the kanji for the others. But I believe the white tiger was on the left. Blue dragon, so that leaves that one. I didn't even need to confirm. Okay. That's pretty neat. Okay, so go down the ladder. Let's hope there's a save spot here. A very different tone. Yeah, like the thing is, around the time of this game, there were stuff like DMC2 and Chaos Legion, and some other stuff. Like, Capcom released 3D action games that weren't, like, very well received. But slightly later on in the 2000s, you had RE4, you had DMC3, both of which were, like, super well received and basically, I think, like, pulled Capcom back out of a deep hole where they were kind of... I remember at the time, Capcom was, like... In like 2003, 2004, Capcom was, like, really not doing super well, and it seemed like a lot of their creators were leaving. They had some... You know, before RE4 came out and everything, like, the whole GameCube 5 situation was, like, not really progressing very well. But they had a bunch of games, whether they were successful or not, they were definitely good. You know, God Hand came out like 05, 06. Shadow of Rome, which is another game I'm super excited to play. I have it in my collection. I mean, not too long after that, they had Dead Rising and Lost Planet on 360. Like, Capcom put out like some super high quality 3D action games. So it seems reasonable to think that Onimusha 4 could also be pretty good, even if it was something different. Like, I mean, there was also Sengoku Basara must have been around that time too, and those were seemingly well received in Japan, at least enough for the series to go on for quite a bit. Anyway, I should have taken a break a while ago, but let's do it now. I was hoping there would be a safe spot, but we'll make do with just pausing. I'll just step away and stretch for a little bit, and if you've been sitting on your ass all day like I have, you probably should too. So let's take a little stretching break, and I'll be back shortly. All right, I returned. Let's explore the basement, I guess. All right, this looks fairly straightforward. Well, there was a pit of spikes, right? I forgot. Just jump over that. Guess so. Luckily, we didn't need to dodge it in real time, but I was gonna say, but maybe there might be other traps here. Yep. Okay, we Resident Evil in now. These are not very good camera angles. Oh, okay, yep. See, there might be some kind of... Oh, dude, okay. I was gonna say, there might be some trick, and I don't want to necessarily be exploring that without having saved recently. Well, we just kind of went through there from the save point, so it should be fine. But also, as I was thinking that, and as I was saying that, I think I figured it out. There we go. Easy. And there's our save point. And we get a nice new little atmosphere. This bright outdoors area. Well, bright. It's very foggy, but it's not dim and dark. I can't open it. It says important part there, I guess. Wait, I put a bunch of points into the spear, but it wasn't enough to level it up. Okay, after I kill these guys, I should go back to the save point and see if I actually have enough to level it up. Sounds like there's more enemies, but I didn't see any of them. Yolka, what can we strengthen here? I don't think this is going to be enough, but it's pretty close. It's very close. Like one enemy away, probably. Oh. I don't know if he's going to come down, but... this one frogman may literally be enough. But we might as well. In case it's not. It'll be tedious. So let's do this. Fairly positive we have enough, but... nice. Right in the arm. That'll do. I'm assuming I can't just jump down the ledge. Well, let's use this as an excuse. We'll level up the spear. Actually, let's equip it first. I just want to take a good look at it. Because it should visually change a bit. Hang on, bro. I just want to level up my spear. There we go. Ooh, it's got an extra little spike on it. guys keep dropping items now. That didn't seem to happen often, if at all, earlier on. A bunch of those knights, samurai, whatever, dropped rare mushrooms. We got a couple of those. Like, Kotaro didn't seem to like it, but we still got something in exchange, so I don't know if I should gift more of them to him. If we have a couple of mushrooms, we can try gifting one to everyone in the party, I guess. Yeah. So, green. Oh, okay. So, wind. Okay, wait, hang on. I guess we do have 4 weapons. Okay, so there's an earth weapon and a wind weapon that we don't have. From what it seems. But I'm guessing that maybe we're gonna get it here. Man, this is pretty cool. Clouds moving. Like, man, they did such a good job with the backgrounds in this. Like, it holds up really well too. Like, it's, I don't know. I love this art style. It's like, I remember when Devil May Cry 5 came out, or during like the marketing for that game. I felt very I had very mixed feelings on the visuals of that game. Like, when the game came out and I played it, like, it's a cool game, it's fun to play, and it doesn't look bad. The animation is awesome, and it does a lot to give it like a very classic feel to it. But the character designs specifically have obviously a much more realistic look to them. Like, if you look at DMC 3 or even 4, it's not, you know, for its time, yes, they're, you know, high fidelity quality, like the CG renders and the promotional artwork and stuff for those games. But if you look at the promo renders for DMC 3, they hold up super well. They still look gorgeous. The characters look great. They don't look realistic. They don't look the way you would expect a character render from a 2021 game to look. But they have a very distinct type of stylization that I think has aged incredibly gracefully. And I think all of this stuff is in a very similar sort of style. And it's like super hard to put my finger on it, but I mean, looking at this, like, it's very, you know, Resident Evil stuff from the same time frame. A lot of what Capcom did, but not just Capcom for that matter. Like, if you look at the, like, new weapon. Like Tekken stuff, like, look at the character renders from like Tekken 5, and I think Tekken has actually done a good job of maintaining that aesthetic vibe in Tekken 7. But there's just something about this like early to mid 2000s CG look where the technology got like good enough, and the art, like the artistry evolved enough as well for things to kind of coalesce into a way that was very detailed and like high fidelity. Yeah, so that's the wind blade. So there's a 4th weapon here. Okay. And I feel like that's something that's been kind of lost since then. You don't see stuff that has that vibe, and I think a lot of it, with DMC being a perfect example of that, like defaults to something with a more realistic look. With like Resident Evil, I think it's jarring to me when you look at the old characters having new actors and new faces. Like they looking at Leon and Claire in the RE2 remake, it doesn't feel like the same characters to me. But I don't think, even though I think RE remake and RE4 like definitely have that same CG vibe as this, which I really like, I don't feel like RE2 remake or even RE7 and RE8 are that much of a departure from that, because I think they had aspects that leaned more towards realism in terms of like the character movements, for example. Like if you compare Resident Evil with Devil May Cry, like Devil May Cry obviously has, it doesn't behave in any kind of realistic fashion, whereas Resident Evil, like the characters, increasing the level of realism in how the characters are depicted and how they look and how they move, feels like it's aligning with what that initial game kind of first presented. I mean, hell, the very first game starts with a live-action FMV, right? But with a game like Devil May Cry, I feel like there is such an inherent exaggeration and stylization to the movements and to the actions that, aside from my personal preference for more kind of idealized stylizations of character designs, I also happen to think that that fits together very well with there's a bit of a clash, I think, between like extremely realistic looking characters and very stylized exaggerated motions, or there can be. I think DMC5 rides that line in a reasonably successful way. When you play the game, the characters are usually small enough on the screen that it doesn't look weird, that they're too realistic or anything. Even something like MVC Infinite, which largely looks like trash because it's so all over the place. There's no cohesive artistic style to it. But the animations, like it uses a lot of animation from, you know, Marvel 3, and probably some of it is left over from Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. So it still has that feel in action. But that game has enough of that part that I don't like about the visuals are still present. So the balance doesn't lean quite far enough. Like, the bad stuff that I don't like overshadows the good stuff enough for the overall impression to not be very positive. Whereas DMC5, I think there are parts that I don't like. I think I prefer the way the characters look in the older games, but enough of like the way the environments look and the way the enemies look and all of that feels faithful enough and artistically like well crafted enough that the realistic look of the faces and the characters, although I don't like it, it's not enough for me to dislike the overall look of it. But I think it's interesting, there were still, I don't know what the most recent example is, but there have been these like Resident Evil CG movies and stuff like that, and they, you know, I feel like they kind of carry that torch forward in terms of that art style and that rendering style, or whatever you want to call it. But in terms of games, I don't know, there's just something very special about games from this time frame with this kind of vibe to them aesthetically that seems, I don't know, like there are big trends towards like PS1 horror stuff nowadays, right? You know, you got the your Dusks and the Medievals and, you know, the whole Brown, Quake, Boomer Shooter stuff. You have the PS1 horror demo disc collection and other kind of indie stuff. You know, maybe we're just 5-10 years away from PS2 era CG stuff. I mean, at that point, I mean, even already, probably, but especially a few years from now, a lot of this you could very much do in real time. But of course, like my appreciation for this kind of look and feel of things isn't just limited to the pre-rendered stuff, even though I do greatly like that, and that's mostly what I'm kind of talking about right now. We talked a lot about it when we were playing through Extermination, how like the characters, like with DMC, I'm mostly talking about the CG look of the characters, because like a new DMC game today, you could recreate the look of those CG renders for DMC3 in real time if you chose to go in that direction, which they didn't. But it would be cool to see stuff that looks like that captures that feel. But also just the overall, like, the rendering techniques and styles used for PS2 stuff, and at that level of quality, at that kind of fidelity. That's something I would be excited to see. Alright, so I have a feeling we're not gonna get through these woods by natural means. But we'll keep going, and I'm assuming we're gonna come back out from where we entered, and at that point we'll just go back. I wonder if I can just run around, and then we'll go into that cave or whatever we had access to. Oops, that's the wrong button. The fact that the character himself is not visible on the map screen, and that we clearly have like some repeated stuff there. I don't know. It seems clear to me that this is some kind of a History Forest maze type situation, or not even maze, just like puzzle maze, I guess you could call it. Like I said, we're not getting through here through natural means. Yeah, what's the special move? Looks a little bit different than in the first game. I want to say the wind tunnel had like a much larger radius. Anyway, I was gonna say that looked like a cutscene cut.
なんて森だ。
All right, he's catching on.
What's with this
迷って
forest?
しまったようだぜ。
Seems like I'm lost.
Sure does seem that way, Jubei. Sure does seem that way. Alright, he just... Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say, did he give up and teleport back out of the woods? No.
ジューベは東へ向かってる。
Jubei went east.
あの女の化け物め。何かよからぬ罠を張ってるに違いねえ。謝るなよ、ジューベ。
Doesn't trust the girl. Oh, shit. Okay, cool. Finally, we get to play as a different character. Oh. Can you open this? Yeah. Necklace, I guess. So I wonder if I want to say in the first game too, like when you picked stuff up as Kaede, I think you like gave it back to, or like there was like a common inventory. Yeah. Because there were like items that only either character could use, but you still kind of kept it around. So let's take a quick look here. Yeah. So I wonder if this carried over. I guess the items that I can use, the healing items, I think carried over. I don't recognize this, but I think this is something I just picked up from those red little baggies by defeating enemies. I'm not sure, but... Actually, yeah, I wonder if the souls are gonna transfer. I forgot to check. Yeah. So this is the weapon we bought for him. So now this is equipped. Nice. I have 30 shuriken to use. Oh, gotta stand in front of the ladder so we can jump up. Dude, that's kind of interesting because I feel like I could have, instead of going into the forest, I could have just gone back here. And I guess missed this entire gameplay section. Can put something inside this? I don't know. Mysterious energy. 持っているだけで結果がある. Okay, that literally says just holding it will give its effect. No need to like specifically use it. This looks so good. But it would be interesting to see like how you could. It feels like it would be difficult to like mimic this look and feel if you were to create this today with like high resolution assets. Something about it just feels. I can use something here. So is this a Bloody Palace thing, or is this where I was supposed to go? Let's find out. Oh, okay. Yep, this looks... Looks like a combat challenge. Like, it just doesn't... I don't know. I mean, looking at the HD version of the RE remake, for example, like, that looks good. Even though they even had to, like, filter... They couldn't actually re-render the artwork or anything. But hell, maybe that even adds to it looking as... Or, like, working as well as it does. Who knows? But it's interesting. I'm reminded, just glancing over chat again, Shadow of Rome is a game that I never really knew too much about. Beyond just being a Capcom game from a period where they put out a lot of good games, I also had an interest in it on account of learning that apparently, like you mentioned it, borrowing stuff or having stuff in common with Dawn of Dreams. Apparently it also... there's also stuff that it's in Dead Rising that you can kind of trace back to that game, like animations, and I don't think the game probably plays all that similarly, but I'm an enormously massive fan of Dead Rising. I love that game to death, and like I said, I was interested in Shadow of Rome on a kind of theoretical level either way. Learning that I could play that game and maybe recognize and see certain things or draw any kind of connections and learn something about any kind of common ancestry between Dead Rising and that game, it definitely makes me intrigued to check it out. So it's like I said, it's in my collection, it's in my backlog, it's on my to-do list for sure, as are many games. Can I open this box, please? I guess I'll use it. I have like a shorter life bar with this dude too. Oh, dude, his fucking downstab is a bit shit. He like keeps leaping forward and missing. And I wonder, I feel like, obviously there's gonna be rewards here eventually, but I feel like you probably have to invest more time than I'm comfortable with to actually get anything tangible out of this. That's my sneaking suspicion anyway. You're not even getting a lot of orbs out of it. Let's do one more floor. Okay, he does have like these special moves too. Oh, I see. I press triangle, it's like, what does that do? Okay. Maybe invisible-ish, except like a clone thing. Oh, let's make sure to get those big souls. To at least get something out of this. Shuriken, you get one shuriken. Alright, I was gonna say there's someone left. Oh. It's not, I don't know, that super threatening. I'm not close to dying, but it's hard to know how long I need to be pushing forward to get anything, so we'll leave it there. And I guess we got a couple hundred souls, maybe. Not really worth it. Like, the enemies inside there seem to give you way less than the regular enemies. I wonder if... I was gonna say that all these, like, panning camera screens... the effect only seems to happen in angles where the character is very close to the camera. I don't know for a fact, but it would seem logical to me. I could see it makes sense that it's like a technical thing with perspective, that basically, because when you're literally like scrolling on an image, clearly you don't get camera perspective the same way you do if you actually move the camera. So if you had a more like kind of zoomed out view where you saw more of the landscape, and you have the characters further away, and you're like panning that side to side, the fact that it's fully 2D would be kind of given away. This place, like, this way is no good. But go inside here, I'll get super lost. Find another way. There should be some kind of cliff I could climb close by. So I guess he can jump up there. He doesn't need ladders. Something written. I didn't mean to actually read the sign. Do that. There we go. That's kind of neat. So, like, in areas like this, I mean, now we didn't get the panning effect, but you could, like, more easily sort of... The distance between the furthest point in the landscape that we're seeing caught on frame and where the camera is like, short enough. Merman, that's interesting. That there's less room for that perspective, like, issue to kind of be given away. I would kind of suspect that's the thing. They have to be pretty selective with where they use that effect. It is cool, though, but it also makes sense that you get that effect in areas where the camera view is very limited. So whenever you do get combat in rooms with moving camera, that tends to coincide with the camera being like super hard to... like you just have very poor visibility. Man, this water, this looks so fucking good. And the way the characters like interact with, you see a little stream like coming off his legs. Like, it's a simple effect, but it's so effective. It's so fucking good. Like, funnily enough, like this, playing this... Can I go up there? There we go. Oh, shit. Okay. Playing this makes me, like, sad that we didn't get more classic 2D Resident Evils. Huh. I wonder if I could have gifted him this. Well, no need, I guess. Like, I guess, you know, I haven't played Resident Evil 0, and I know that people don't like it. I'm pretty sure I have the HD version through PS Plus or Game Pass or on Steam or something. But I remember that game not being well received, and additionally, I feel like I've heard not great things about the HD version. Something about the controls or something, I don't know. I haven't been like eager to play it, but playing this actually makes me curious to play it and see if that game also features more of the kind of camera effects, because I think, like, for sure the RE1 remake has some of the stuff we're seeing in this game, with adding a bit of animation to the backgrounds and stuff like that. But I feel like this game goes way harder with like I said, almost every single screen has like fog and water and moving parts, and the way the shadows from the characters interact, like overlapping elements. It's just like more stuff going on. I wouldn't necessarily say that I think this looks better, because RE Remake, like, the lighting and the atmosphere is just fucking immaculate. It's such an amazing game. But I think this game seems to go, like, they're pushing the techniques they developed for that game. And I mean, throughout all the other RE games up to that point. And just, like, pushing them further and further. Yeah, Resident Evil 4 certainly has a rich and fairly well documented, all things considered, development history. I guess it throws a whole bunch of I've never like followed it very closely myself. I've seen bits and pieces over the years, but I don't have it like committed to memory or anything. I mean, granted, the way RE4 turned out was hard to complain. That's a very, very good game, and I think an extremely influential game in many ways. I'm not so hot on RE5. I like RE6 better than most people. RE7 is not a game I bought it, but the fact that it seems kind of actually scary, like, I don't know, I'm not into RE7. RE8 I really do want to play, because it seems like that leans more in the kind of over-the-top direction. 7 seems, by Resident Evil standards, a little bit somber. And then you have the stuff like the red and blue holes. Maybe you can insert something. The first-person perspective, the new characters, like, it just seemed to have a little bit of a different vibe, which I do think was the absolute correct direction to take. I think another RE6 would not have made anyone that happy. RE6 sold super duper well, but was like not well received. And I think the series was due for like a new, fresh take. Oh, special move for the spear. So I applauded them for like going in a different direction. And from all I hear about 8 is that it seems to be a very kind of greatest hits kind of a thing where they... I guess we saved recently. You know, where they incorporate a lot of elements. It's very similar to 7 in some ways, but different in other ways. I think 6 has a lot of issues, but I think mechanically it feels like 6 offers more of an interesting thing than 5. 5 was just kind of 4 but worse. I didn't like the story and characters in 5 were very blah. Sheva has a cool looking design, but as a character, I thought she sucked because she like has no agency and no personality. Pretty much all of the dialogue in RE5 is Sheva like narrating what's happening on screen or like commenting on what Chris is saying or doing. She has like no personality. She never... It really stood out to me playing it. Like, Josh shows up for like 2 cutscenes and makes more of an impact as a character. And then you have like the villain characters who... Like, what's her name? Excella, who from promotional artwork and stuff, she seems like she's going to be this major character. And she shows up in like 1 cutscene, becomes a monster, and then you kill her, and then you never hear from her again. And that's like, I don't know. I also kind of hate Matrix Wesker. I think Wesker was awesome in the first game, and I haven't cared for him really since. I mean, I appreciate the way he, you know, his scenery chewing in 5 is pretty powerful. Complete global saturation and all that. Like, there's stuff to enjoy in its goofiness. But 5 to me was like, I don't think it's a bad game, but I think there's no substance to it. It's just kind of mindless, button mashy. I don't even want to say fun. It's like, I don't feel there's any like substance to it, but it's fine. I think 6 pushed further in terms of atmosphere. I think 6 just felt more like an RE game in terms of what it did with story and stuff like that. And I think, crazily enough, I never thought I would ever say this, but like Jake Wesker Jr., like, he's actually like the best character because he has a personality. Like, I think Leon's story is dumb as shit because you spend like 40% of the story with Leon saying like, "What's going on here?" And what's her name? Helena. She's like, "Oh no, I can't tell you the plot because you wouldn't believe me." And he says, "Okay, I'll just go with you." And that's like the dialogue for 2 chapters. And then you find out that her sister was like a part of some experiment or some shit, and then you actually get a little bit of exposition, and it's just kind of dumb. But the tone and atmosphere and vibes, like, I think it's really cool with the different campaigns that they all feel pretty different. Like, Leon's campaign is like the classic RE horror vibe. Chris's campaign is more of RE5 shooty shooty, and Jake's campaign is like, it's not exactly like RE3, but you know, you have the whatever it's called, the big monster that chases you every now and then. I thought that was like, it was an extremely ambitious game that is pretty cool. The mercenaries mode in RE6 was excellent, and there's just a lot of cool shit in that game. I think it was absurd how like how poorly it was received. Like, I think RE6, like, yeah, it's I mean, there's very easy tangible things to look at. Like, there's a lot of scripted sequences, there's a lot of QTEs, there's a lot of like, if you want to speedrun games, yeah, RE6 is a nightmare because there's so many, like, you walk 2 feet and then you have to like wait for a cutscene, you have to do this and that. Like, it's very much of its time in that sense. So I mean, yeah, I can appreciate that there are tangible things that people didn't like about it, but I feel like there's still a very solid core in terms of how the game plays. I think the stamina system, I thought, made the combat a lot more interesting. Like, RE4, it's a cool, fun game, but 5 as well. Like, yeah, you kind of shoot a dude in the knee and then you suplex them or whatever. Like, that's kind of what you do. But in RE6, you can't even really do that. Like, you can't only rely on that because the stamina won't let you. So you have to kind of mix things up and you have to think a little bit more about it. And just the way you move and the way shooting works, like, it feels really good. Like, there's shit like that I think is legitimately really good in RE6. Yeah, I guess the thing for me is not that I can't understand people disliking RE6, but it's hard for me to understand people really liking RE5 but hating RE6. A similar thing, I guess, is with the Batman movies. Like, I like Batman and Robin. I can perfectly understand why people hate Batman and Robin. It's a very stupid movie, but I like the visuals of the movie. I think it's goofy fun. It's very, like, it has its own vibe that it's going for 1,000%. Yeah, it is super stupid, and it's like the way it treats certain characters in terms of adapting them from the source material is dumb and all that. It's a dumb movie. I don't deny that. I don't necessarily think it's a good movie, but I think it's entertaining. I really like it. I have a good time when I watch it. Yeah, the Gotham City in that movie is like spectacular. It's really cool. But what I don't understand is people saying they like Batman Forever, but they think Batman and Robin sucks. Because Batman Forever is like no less dumb. It's like, it's super dumb. And I mean, yeah, okay, I know people like Jim Carrey, and the Riddler in Batman Forever isn't really the Riddler, it's just Jim Carrey. So if you enjoy Jim Carrey and he happens to be wearing green and that's what you get out of the movie, like, I mean, that's cool, I guess. Like, you can enjoy that and I won't take that away from anyone. But speaking as someone who don't particularly care for Jim Carrey and his style of humor, that doesn't add anything to the movie. That's not why I dislike it, though. But it's, to me, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze, dumb as shit. Like, Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy, pretty dumb. Bane in that movie, extremely dumb. But they're fun. The Riddler and Two-Face in Batman Forever, okay, they don't strictly speak in puns, literally all of their dialogue. But beyond that, I'm not sure how you could really say that they are much less dumb than the villains in the 4th movie, and they are incredibly grating and obnoxious. Tommy Lee Jones' Two-Face sucks ass. Like, he doesn't even, like, he doesn't, I don't know, he's not Two-Face at all. Like, he doesn't have a split personality. He doesn't, like, change, he's just, like, laughing and growling. I don't know. It's so fucking dumb. So if you hate both of them, that's fine. If you like both of them, that's fine. But for me, it's hard to see how you could really like Batman like, unless of course you saw Batman Forever when you were 12 and you liked it, and then you saw Batman and Robin when you were 18 and you hated it, and you haven't seen either of them since then. That's I can understand that. I liked Batman Forever when it first came out too. But if you rewatch them now, like, I don't understand how you could really like the first, like, Forever and hate Batman and Robin. And that's kind of how I feel about RE5 and 6. Like, what really is it that makes you... I'm not sure if that's even it's not exactly a one-to-one comparison per se, but like, because RE5 and 6 are probably more different from each other than Batman Returns and the Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. But I still think the things that RE5 did well, I don't think RE6 does any worse. And it has a bunch of other interesting stuff in it. Like, RE6 gets all up its own ass with the story, and it's goofy and dumb shit, but it does so with a lot more panache than 5, I think. Like, it embraces its absurdity in a cool way. But yeah, I think you're mentioning Gundam, the over-reliance on set pieces and mini-bosses. I think it's a huge game. It's like extremely long. It's got 3 campaigns, and then you do the Ada campaign at the end. Like, it's definitely very long. And I think it's not as tight and well-paced as RE4, but it's like... It's... I don't know. I finished it, so it's not that it's like super overly way too long necessarily, but it could definitely be it could be shorter. That's for sure. But I think also it's like it has a lot of places where each individual segment is going on for a little bit too long, and there's a lot of stuff that's kind of, it's long but not in a way like RE1 or the remake or whatever. Like, a lot of the classic RE games they can be pretty long. They can take 12 to 15 hours, but if you know what you're doing, you can do it in 2 hours. But in RE6, I think that's probably not the case. Even if you know the game super well, you can't really make it go any faster. And I think the tedium and kind of, if you want to call it that, that's definitely one thing I can see, like, being a very legitimate complaint. Because 5, too, I think is a pretty short and snappy game, at least compared to 6. 6 has a bit of bloat to it. Undeniably. And yeah, I mean, I don't begrudge anyone for disliking RE6, but it's I still think the critical panning it received, like, so universally, to me felt very disproportionate. Like, I don't think it deserved quite the vitriol it received. Why must a game be speedrunnable? Must is a strong word. From my standpoint, in terms of my tastes, I like short games. I don't like long games. And I especially don't like long games when they feel like they're longer than they have to be, which is almost universally the case. RE4 is a long game, but it's super well paced. Towards the end, you know, for the latter third or so, you might feel a little bit like, oh shit, it's not over yet. We have a whole other thing to go through. Like, but once you get into that, whatever section that it's fun. It plays well, and it mixes things up. But what I especially get annoyed with is when things just drag on, and it's not like engaging because it's just rote repetition, and it just feels dragged and stretched out. And I think, especially in like the Resident Evil games in general, historically, have been games that encourage. I mean, this same thing with this, right? With the different ranks and the save stuff. Like, you're encouraged to play the game multiple times. But I think that's a huge problem I have with modern AAA games, and the reason why I'm not interested in so many of them. Aside from, of course, games that do like live service shit, but like modern Assassin's Creed games or whatever, they're like 500 hours long. Like, there's no way you would ever finish that and be satisfied with it, and then 5 years later say, you know what, I want to experience that again, because like the idea of doing all of that, like, oh, it's just overbearing and daunting to think of how huge of a thing that's going to be. Like, it's this all consuming thing that like takes over your life for months. I much prefer experiences that are like tight and self-contained, and you know, you can finish it anywhere from 2 to 8 hours. Like, that's ideal to me. If I'm playing stuff on stream, it always takes longer because I get sidetracked on these like tirades on all kinds of vaguely related topics. But yeah, I'm not saying my critique with RE6 is like it's difficult to speedrun, but I mean, it is in a way, because I think the reasons why that is are things that could have been circumvented. The game could have been built in such a way that you still got everything you got from that game without taking as much of a player's time, or like require investment. See, like, again, talking about value in terms of game length and what you want out of the game, I, for about as long as I can remember, have struggled to relate to the idea of valuing a game higher or lower based on how long it is, in terms of from pressing new game to reaching credits, how long of a duration is that, and how much, you know, should it be short, should it be long, like X length equals Y goodness. Like, no, I never understood that. I never related to that way of thinking. I do think length matters, but only insofar as, like, if it's too long, I'm not going to finish, and I will just leave it half finished, and I'll be bored with it, and it'll leave a sour taste, you know? Whereas if I finish a game, or, you know, that's a simple way I like to phrase it, right? I have left many, many games unfinished for various reasons. Even if I like them, there's dozens, if not hundreds of games throughout my life that I've started playing and then just decided to not finish. Games that I have finished and enjoyed and said, I've been upset that the game didn't keep going. That has almost never happened. Because if the game wraps up in a satisfying way, that is it. Like, that's fun, that's satisfying. And if I want to play it more, I can play it more. I can play it again. And I tend to gravitate towards games that are mechanically focused and mechanically engaging. And if it is fun to play, then it's fun to play, whether or not I've completed it before. Sure, there might be very narratively heavy games that you play them once and that really is it. But to me, that's still like, if that was engaging, then that was it. And you know, like, if I watch a movie and I like it, I like it. And if I had set aside 3 hours to watch movies, and then I watched a movie and it was 82 minutes long, well, I guess I can watch an episode of a TV show after that, or whatever. Like, same with games. If it's short and it's ended and I was happy with it, I can either play it again, or if for some reason it's a game that doesn't warrant playing more after you finish it, like, I'm already going to be skeptical of it. Like, that, I usually feel like there should be more to it than that. Even if there isn't, I'm probably not going to think it was good. Like, if I didn't enjoy my time playing it in a way that would have me be excited to play it again, then I probably wouldn't enjoy that thing being stretched twice as long either. So that's kind of why I feel like then games being longer doesn't make them better at all. Like, if there's nothing to justify them being longer, then they shouldn't. So yeah, there's so many games where I finished and I was happy with it, and you know, I can either come back to it or I can move on to something else and be happy that it ended. Like, I can't say I played a well-paced game and be like, man, you know what? Every hour there should be just 20 minutes of doing nothing and not having fun, just so it would last longer. Like, and I think that's how many games end up really long. It's just really padded. Yeah, Spiritual Chief, that you're kind of getting at what I'm, how I'm thinking about it too. Like, there's I think the discourse around it is super toxic, and I think for sure it's led to design paradigms with like bloat, you know, this idea that, you know, that's another reason why I find it so refreshing to go back to these like PS2 era games where you can finish a game in 6 hours and that was cool and that's it. And maybe there's unlockable stuff, maybe there's other incentives to play it multiple times, and even if there isn't, like, yeah, that was cool. And I understand, you know, money concerns if like, that's the thing, like, for me that's a moot point, because that's not how I spend my money. Like, that's not how I think about the money I spend. Like, when I think about whether to buy a game or not, I'm not worried about how many hours it's going to last me until I need to spend more money for additional entertainment, because I have literally like 1,000+ games sitting back there. I have Game Pass. I have a billion games on Steam. I have, you know, Netflix. I have YouTube. Like, I can be entertained with games or otherwise for the rest of my life without making another purchase. No question about that, you know? So, at least in my point where I'm at in life, where I'm at in what games I have, like, that's not a concern. That's not, like... I've bought games at full price, played them very little, and go like, I wish this was more engaging so I would like it more, but I don't feel like, fuck, I shouldn't have spent that money. And I mean, I'm in a privileged position where I don't have to worry about that. I have enough money that I can spend money frivolously and not have to worry about it. And I realize that is a privilege and not everyone is in that situation. But I still think it's a meaningful distinction between, like, critique and consumer advocacy, as I've mentioned, like, or as I phrased it before, like, making someone aware that if they spend X amount of money on something, that they know what they're getting out of it, and let people make that purchase or not based on, you know, what they want out of it and knowing what they're getting themselves into. But I can't in good conscience say that such and such is a better or worse game because the cost to length ratio was off. And like I said, length can be an important factor, but more so pacing. Pacing is much more crucial than length. It's just that the longer a game is, the less likely it is that it's actually well paced. So that's why long games are just inherently at a disadvantage in terms of being compelling from beginning to end. And different types of games can warrant different lengths, sure. But anyway, what were we talking about? Resident Evil stuff. Pre-rendered backgrounds. I don't know. Batman. We're talking about Batman, of course. Anyway, that's... I've been told that this nonsense is why you people come to my stream anyway, so there you go. There's your weekly Wednesday ramblings. Anyway. 書きになってるようだな。ジュベがコロを座った。Alright, so Jubei has not been here. Shouldn't touch this. Alright, so this is a Jubei puzzle. So why do we even come here? Can we... I can't zoom. Okay, so that leads to the forest. Wait, so can I go across the water? Or did I come... A little confusing. I don't barely... I've been talking about Batman and Resident Evil for like an hour, so I don't even remember what's going on here. Yeah, I mean, I think for sure, like, I'm not saying every type of game must be of equal length. Oh yeah, that was that door thing. Maybe we had some kind of key items there. I didn't really pay attention. Or maybe we can just run past it. Oh, okay. I guess we cannot. Is that a path up here? But generally, I think it's much more common for me. Okay, it's just gonna spawn. It's like a gauntlet enemy spawner. It's a far more common occurrence for me to feel like a game is too long than to feel a game is too short. Like, games are frequently too long. They're very rarely too short. So, let's see. Oh, can't use that. Yeah, there's a red and blue hole. Maybe I can stick something in here. It's just like equipping. Nope. Oh, this is not even usable. So, little puzzle room was like, well, I shouldn't touch this. We follow that green arrow to where we came from. It's up the cliff. Map is a bit confusing. Is the thing on the far right, does that lead towards the forest? Because Kotaro wouldn't enter the forest. Let's go back to the puzzle room area and just make sure we didn't miss anything. Because basically it's like, well, this forest is bad news. I don't want to go in here and get lost. Let's see if there's another way. And then we jumped up the cliff. Jumped up the cliff, rather. And I assumed we were going to get some kind of vantage point to... Oh yeah, that's what that was. To find Jubei and help him out. But now I feel like I'm not finding anything else to do up here. But hey, maybe it's one of those we got to kind of a dead end. So time to go back and trigger a cutscene. We passed through a door, like a soul lock, whatever. This is so cool. Wait, why is that thing not absorbing those things? Okay, I guess it has a limited range. Oh, look at that thing. It's so cool. Oh, okay, I didn't mean to do that. Nope, wrong button. So yeah, maybe there was a path to the right there. Let's see if... Especially in these, like... Oh, okay. Outdoors areas where it's... You can't see super clearly where the paths kind of begin and end. Oh, the camera angles make it a little confusing. Oh. Yeah, sorry about the wallet text. No worries. I would be highly hypocritical of me to complain about something like that. I'll need a second to read it though. Turning around. Well, you say it was like different in the olden days, and you say we don't look at things that way. Well, I think that's the thing, right? Some people do, some people don't. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's like market trends and how things are designed. I'm not saying that everything has to have like that I mean, I like arcade games, and I like games that focus on mechanics and mastery and challenge. But I'm also not very good. Like, I know a lot of people who 1cc dozens of arcade games. Like, I've 1cc'd maybe 2 or 3 games, and they were all really easy to do, you know? Like a handful of fighting games. I 1cc'd House of the Dead, the first one. And, like, as far as games that actually require practice and learning and mastering, nah, I'm like not good enough for that, I feel like. But I can still enjoy, like, those games that are like that. They're still fun to play and replay and try. Like, they're not about, you know, they're about the joy of interacting with the game. They're not focusing on getting to the reward of seeing the ending. Like, that's cool, but I mean, they're not about, they're more about the experience of playing than they are about getting to see the entire thing from beginning to end and then you are done with it. Like, I think that to me is the biggest disconnect with considering games as like something you do, something you consume in the way you consume, maybe not even a movie, but like a novel or something, like where you, because I think movies, people are more, I think, keen on the idea of watching and rewatching the same movie multiple times, probably because they are shorter than a game generally, you know, or at least a modern big game. I don't know how many people read novels, but I think a novel is maybe more comparable because it's usually, it takes more than 2 or 3 hours to read a novel. So you maybe don't reread the same novel as frequently as you would rewatch a movie. Superb. And it is kind of like, you read it once and then maybe 15 years later you can read a novel. But maybe it's something you largely experience once and then that's kind of it. Give, ask, take. Thank you for the follow. But to me, I think, obviously the act of engaging with a game and the interactive nature makes it very different from a movie. I don't think games should aspire to be more like movies, but I think specifically talking about, you know, replay value or considering like how you engage with a game. Like, no one talks about rewatch value of a movie. Like, oh, this movie has terrible rewatch value. It's just the same thing again. Like, I've already seen it. Like, you know, sure, you have movies that have like gimmick twists that makes it exciting to watch a second time, or you have just movies that you kind of need to see 2 or 3 times to really digest it and everything, sure. But yeah, for the most part, watching movies multiple times is just about having that familiar, enjoyable experience. You know, movies that are super well made are just going to be like that. You know, you catch a movie on TV or you just see it come up and you want to watch the scene and then you end up watching the whole thing because it's just super engaging. And that's a sign of a good movie to me. Like, that it doesn't matter if you know what's going to happen. It doesn't matter if you had it spoiled or whatever. The act of watching it is enjoyable in and of itself because it is well made and it's compelling. Games to me, like, are at their best when they are compelling to play. And it doesn't matter if, like, if the story ends or whatever. Like, I mean, sure, you can have different focus on games. Games can be very story-heavy and whatever, but like I said, personally, I tend to be drawn more towards, like, mechanically engaging games. That's not to say I can't like narrative-driven games or games where narrative play heavily into... So, like I mentioned, Dead Rising, one of my favorite games, and that's largely because of its structure and mechanics, but I really, really like the narrative and the characters in that game, too. And it's fun to replay from a mechanical standpoint. The narrative doesn't really change, but I still enjoy spending time with those characters, so I enjoy the narrative on multiple playthroughs still, and I enjoy how the narrative and the mechanics tie in together with each other to create a whole. So, I'm not sure exactly what I'm trying to get at, but I think I dislike the broad trend that has happened in, like, big games in particular over the last, I mean, mostly in the last 10 to 15 years, but obviously it didn't come out of nowhere. You can trace it back further than that, but of like games having to be. I mean, even RE4 is an interesting example because RE4 was at the time a huge game. Like that's a really long game for the type of game it is. Because that's like, you know, it can easily take you 15 to 20 hours to do it the first time. It can be a 10, 12 hour playthrough, even like if you're familiar with it, which is longer than most games of its type at the time, at least. For being such a like a relentless action game, like it really keeps going for a long time, but it justifies it. But nowadays, like, I mean, I don't even want to, what's the word? I think it's stupid, so stupid that I don't want to like give it any attention. But like some of the discourse around Metroid Dread, right? And you can name any number of games where like someone hears a rumor that it's only X hours long, and it's like, you know, oh, it's 2D, it's not worth the money. Or like, that shit is so fucking stupid. But like, I remember when Metal Gear Rising was coming out, like someone had an early copy and they finished the game, and the total play time was like 6 hours or something, which of course doesn't include dying and reloading and redoing levels. It doesn't include watching cutscenes. It doesn't include a number of things. But even so, people were like panicking about it, and like that might even have been like a speedrun or someone going through it really quickly. Like it's not indicative of how long it will take you to get from title screen to credits, but more importantly, it's in no way indicative of how much time and how much enjoyment you're able to get out of it. Because I mean, that's a Platinum game, and those games are always mechanically intensive and almost always designed for you to spend your first playthrough familiarizing yourself with the engine and the game. And if you're happy with that, you can leave it, you can move on, that's fine. But they're very inviting towards replaying and like mastering and unlocking stuff, and like there's way much more to the game than that. So as far as like judging time, like or not, and I'm not even talking about like time value proposition, but just like the question that is worth answering or worth asking in regards to time and game, to me, is never how long is this game. To me, the length of time, the average length of time from title screen to end credits is like completely irrelevant. The only meaningful reason to ask that question to me would be like if I'm planning out streams, can I get a, you know, ballpark estimation of if I'm gonna need 3 streams or 12 streams to finish this game. But in terms of like what it says about the game, that's a meaningless question. To me, the questions, the 2 questions that are relevant are, number 1, how much time will this game require of me in order for me to feel that it's worthwhile or for me to have fun? Because that can be very different. A game can be such and such hours long, but if it's like, oh, it's not fun until the 16th hour because you need to, like, when Diablo 3 came out, I didn't care for Diablo, never have, but I happened to win a copy of Diablo 3 pretty close to release. So I got it for free, and I was like, hey, I'll check this out. And I just couldn't get into it. I didn't really enjoy it. I found it kind of boring. And that game was pretty controversial. People had a lot of different opinions on it, but the people who really liked Diablo 3 that I talked to were all in agreement that, oh, it doesn't really start. The game doesn't become fun until you beat it on the first 2 difficulty levels and you get to the nightmare difficulty level or whatever. Like, that's where the game begins. So what that was telling me was basically, oh, this is a fun game after you have invested 30 plus hours into it, or 40, 80 hours, however many hours. And I was just like, I'm not willing to not have fun for 30 hours to potentially maybe have fun. So that's a game, that's an example of a game that just requires way too much time before, you know, it's asking too much of me. But the other relevant question is like, how much enjoyment and time could I get out of this? Which is, to me, hopefully, a completely different question than how long is the game from title screen to end credits. Yeah, Zug, I think so too. Like, the exception really is probably either in something that's very heavily narratively driven, or maybe like a mystery game or something where if you know where the specific joy you're getting out of the game is learning the mystery. That's totally valid as an experience too. And I can't begrudge those games for not like being engaging to start over, but that is a very specific type of thing. But ideally, yes, there's a mechanical hook or something that makes it fun to engage with, fun to interact with, that keeps you playing. And as you said, like I think those, it's fine for something to, like the Yakuza games, for example. They're long games with story twists and turns, and like you might go 50 hours in until the story gets really interesting. But it's not like the game is tedious and boring up until that point. There's a lot of shit to actually engage and entertain you throughout. So yeah, like I think it's really important for a game to be like the carrot on a stick and the promise of something exciting happening later on cannot be what's keeping you there. Numbers going up, like for me, that's just insulting. I don't know. So that's the thing for me, like with time. Like I need to be able to have fun kind of immediately. I can't be bothered to like stick around to see if I might eventually enjoy it. And even if something is fun, if the game, like even if it starts engaging, if it then starts to drag and become boring, and it's like, well, I want to see where the story goes, but I can't be fucked to spend another 20 hours on this shit. Like, then I'm probably gonna drop off. And there you have it. That's an example of a game that's too long, probably. Or at least poorly paced. As you can tell, this is a this is an issue I am very passionate about and have very strong opinions on. So where the fuck are we? I did go back there again, and I couldn't do anything there. Can't go back past the red-blue thing. Guess I'll backtrack further? I can't like run out in the water. I mean, I can run out in the water like this, but I think that's about it. The screen looks so gorgeous, by the way. I mean, I said that before, but it's worth repeating. Sounds like a path up here. I mean, it would show up on the map, right? So this is... I'm like getting stuck on these little holes. Okay. Dragon statue. I think no rare items here. Tank controls. Tank controls gets a bad rap. They're like not a big deal. Yeah, he's literally like, I shouldn't go here. I'll get fucked up. But hey, wasn't there a high cliff I could climb? There was, but what the fuck was up there? Take a look at the map. 5 hours 43. We had the text thing. I didn't have the pause screen. I had like the text prompt up, or that was talking about the puzzle box thing when I was talking for like half an hour. So that's our game time. Getting fucked there, but whatever. Who cares, right? Yeah, like I think I like in this game the same as in the first one. The auto aim. The like locking on when you're targeting, like your characters move pretty swiftly. You have like side steps. Like they iterated on that concept a lot throughout different games that used them. And like usually your attacks, depending on the weapon, like but often they have like fairly wide arcs that kind of hit enemies. Like you're rarely like okay, you can double tap left and right. You do a little side hop. That's cool. Just learn that. Well, this is just backtracking even further. Yeah, that's the Bloody Palace thing. So, Okay, maybe I can... Maybe I need to backtrack to find red and blue items of some sort to put into that totem pole. It's worth a look. Oh, dude, this screen looks so gorgeous too. I'm not sure. I don't even remember, so we might as well just see how far back we can actually go. Trying to use the ladder. There we go. It's so funny. He doesn't even touch the ladder, but you still have to stand at the ladder. Okay. Jubei's in danger. Oh yeah, this is like where we spawned with him. Okay. So I'm not supposed to backtrack to find anything else. The dialogue very clearly seems to indicate that we should simply go up the cliff. Jello Schmello. That's a good name. Gives me a craving for something sweet. Thank you for the follow. Man, I kind of gorged on like Halloween candy, and I told myself I need to be stricter than usual on the carb intake, at least sugars, from now on. And it's what, November 3rd, and I'm already like really craving sugar. I also didn't really eat much dinner, so I'm getting a bit hungry too. So that, I'm feeling like, I guess I should just get a snack after the stream, but that's like really bad, because I shouldn't snack late at night. Oh well. I guess the stream nights are always going to be a little bit difficult to schedule. I don't have much time. I mean, I could have, but I had some other stuff I needed to take care of. But I don't have much time to prepare dinner and stuff. Of course, I can be like a responsible adult and plan ahead of time, because I stream on a regular schedule. I'll know which nights I'm going to stream, but sometimes you just find yourself not having much food to prepare on short notice. That's neither here nor there. Alright, so the fuck let me just take a quick look. I can't use these items. To the best of my ability, I could not find anything in my inventory that I could use. Maybe I need to go mash circle to interact in. Shuriken. Because like that clearly, I don't know, I am confused. Like I feel like I've clearly missed something, because this game isn't usually, or hasn't particularly been this cryptic, I guess. Or like, I don't like attack it or anything. Like, soul? Absorb? No. Triangle? Nope. Can't nimble through it either. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So I am actually, my corporeal form is invulnerable. Holy god, that counts a bit of damage. Well, fucking around at least is giving us a lot of souls. So we'll be able to level shit up whenever we cover Jubei. So let's interact Red and blue hole. Maybe I can insert something. This is the only screen where I can actually use items. And these are all recovery items. So I have this thing. This is what I used to open up that gate to, like, the Bloody Palace. And this is just a scroll that gives you a special move. That's not something you can use. I can't use this. This looks red. Looks like you could stick it in something. But I can't use it. I don't have items. Yeah, even the, like, trade... Well, maybe I didn't actually pick up trade items. Like, these are lore scrolls / tutorial information. Maps. I definitely do not have... Doesn't work. Doesn't do anything. So, I must have missed something. Maybe... Maybe that puzzle room thing... Was something else I could do there? The game hasn't typically been this cryptic, so I feel like it's not... I feel like I'm me being an idiot. Mashing circle here in case there's some kind of interaction. There was a box back here. Or like... I was like, do I climb the wall or something? Or do I use item here? Because it just says like, oh, I shouldn't touch this. Nope. Can't use anything here either. Man, I'm like... Nope. Do anything there. So, like, it seems like I can't go past here without Jubei. I found, like, 2 of those doorways that are locked with the demon seal, whatever, that we need him to open. So what the heck could there be? It seems weird to think that we're gonna have to rely on any kind of like random drops of something. Like there would be an item we collect or something. But it's just like forests. Do I just like... mash the interact button on every square meter of this place? Like that's about where I'm at right now. Or I mean, I guess that's kind of what I have been doing for a while. Well, I've been mostly just fighting. If someone happens to know what I'm supposed to do, like I'm all ears. I don't mind a little bit of backseating if I'm otherwise just being completely stuck. This is just the other door. Yeah, right? Yeah. This doesn't open without the ice spear. Like, being constantly assaulted by enemies also means that I don't even get to, like, stop to think or try anything, really. Okay, I pressed circle, but I think I... Yeah, I just went through the screen transition. I mean, I guess I trust that nothing's been, like, completely glitched out, but... I mean, we're gonna have to wrap the stream up very shortly anyway. But I guess I'll have to make sure to look up a walkthrough or something before the next stream. That's not something I expected to have to do, but... And there's a river up here, I guess. Something. That's just the forest. I interact with this thing more times. No. Oh, shit. Not doing great on health. It's fine. Have to get some of it back anyway. I don't know. I guess there's not much point in like going through these screens a fourth time and hope that I'll find something. I'm better off getting a good night's sleep and doing some research for next time. This is, I mean, ultimately, I guess we did spend probably the last hour not making progress, but we were talking about Batman and Resident Evil and having a good time, so I don't really mind, but I am a little bit concerned that this is going to be a thing in this game. I don't want to have to, like, look up stuff. Not for any kind of gamer pride or anything. I don't give a shit. It's more about the hassle of having to take a break from the game to go look stuff up. But if I'm cutting the stream as I would anyway, then yeah, I can look it up for next time. That's not a problem. But I hope that's not going to be a thing. And I certainly hope it's not something that's, like, actually glitched. So we have to, like, abort the playthrough. That would really suck. I mean, that seems highly unlikely, though. But yeah, not the most exciting note to end the game on for tonight, but we made some progress. We got another of the 5 orbs. Got to play as Kotaro. We leveled up. We didn't level up that much, but we got a shit ton of souls that we can eventually level some stuff up with. And we had some fun conversations. It was a good time. We will wrap up there for tonight, however. Reminder that, I guess if you're here, you kind of already know, but we have made some slight schedule changes. Usually, or previously, I streamed on Thursdays, but that's going to be Wednesdays from now on. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Saturday streams are also going to be from 1 p.m. Central European Time, as opposed to 3 p.m. previously. So we're going to start a little earlier. Hopefully, that's going to work out a little better for me and maybe for you. We'll see. And this week also, we do have, as you may have seen if you're looking at the channel point stuff, we have the Viewer's Choice versus Fighting Game bonus stream number 10 in the books. Well, the stream isn't, but the reward challenge thing has been met. So this Friday, we are going to be doing Viewer's Choice versus Fighting Games. Always a good time. Always scary. You never know what kind of weird nonsense games you guys pick for me to play, but I'm the one who put them on the list in the first place, so that's on me. I always have a good time, though. So that'll start on Friday evening. We usually go from about 7 p.m. and for a few hours, should be a good time. So I'm hoping to see you guys back on Friday for some fighting games. But this will be it for me tonight. I'm currently figuring out who is streaming and who we might want to pay a visit to. Let's see. Well, we'll hop on over to the goodbye screen here. I think it looks like Aquas is doing some stuff. We might join him. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.